Hey, what's going on YouTube? Corby Love here, and I am like super stoked about this project, this build. I got this 1943 General Electric fridge at a estate sale that I saw on Craigslist. I got it for 40 bucks. I'm gonna turn it into a smoker. Right now I am running it's an old charbroil, half gas, half charcoal grill that I tore out the gas side, and I made it into just a charcoal smoker. I bought a side box for it. I put it on the side. It's strictly a stick burner now, and that's what I do the majority of my smoking on. Put in, don't get me wrong. I love tending a fire. I love standing by it, hovering over it, watching the finished product come out. It amazes me. I love to do that. All right, so on the days that I just want to do like a set it and forget it type of thing, I think this is what I'm going to end up doing. So guys, huddle in over my shoulder real close. We'll turn this thing around and we'll get a look at the inside of this. All right, so here's the outside of the fridge. Like I said, it's an old vintage 1943, I believe, General Electric refrigerator. And when I got it, I got it from their house, and it was still working. It was working really good. It had like 3 inches of ice built up on here that I had to let it thaw for a couple days out in the 90-degree heat here in Michigan. And yeah, it had a nice buildup of ice. And I know I could have used it for a refrigerator, and I really didn't care that it was working. I'm gonna make it into a smoker. It's got this door paneling, this fiber board that I'm gonna replace with a piece of either stainless steel or some kind of sheet metal. I'm not gonna do a lot of the taping while I'm doing the project because I tend to swear, cuss, and rage a lot at what I'm doing. So what I'll do more than likely is I'll do some work on it, update the video, do some work on it, update the video, do some work, update the video. Like I said, it was working when I got it. The compressor is really heavy on the back. As a matter of fact, when I was taking it from the house that I got it from, 2 people at the estate sale offered me money for it, more than what I paid for it, so they could turn it into a kegerator or whatever they were going to do. I politely turned them down, and then I had somebody come up here on my deck at my house, knocked on my door, and asked me if they could buy it. Also turned them down, obviously. So what I'm gonna do, the inside is all tin, it's all metal. So I'm gonna rip out all the plastic. This fiber board right here I'm gonna replace with probably metal, like, I don't know, it's like a roof flashing. I'm gonna, take off the pieces, cut it to size, fit it right on there, take out all these plastic pieces, pull this out right here. It's got I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a metal aluminum tin back. So I'm gonna take that off, slide the freezer out, replace all, take this off, take off this plastic here. I'm gonna make myself a cold smoke generator. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with the Smoke Daddy, but I'm going to make something similar to that. I'm going to take the kick plate off. That's where I'm going to be storing my electronics. I have a PID temperature controller that I made, that you can find anywhere on YouTube. I just made one of those. I'm also I have an old heating element from a vertical Brinkman smoker that I'm going to put in the bottom. I'm going to cut a hole in the bottom, set it down in there, I'm going to put like I'm going to have 5 shelves for food, and then I'll have a 6th shelf for the drip pan and the heat deflector. So it should be an interesting task. I will keep the video updated as much as I can, and look forward to showing you something next time I get this thing fired up. Okay, so I've got the smokestack hole drilled for the chimney. I got a 3-inch hole with a hole saw on this side, and I went through on the other side, but it's very, very, very difficult to get through the enamel. It took me a while, took a lot of swearing, a lot of cursing. Anyway, I got this smokestack here. Got this from my local muffler shop. It's 3-inch diameter exhaust pipe. I got this. We have a local restore, Home for Habitat for Humanity restore. This little, I don't know what it's for, but what it does is it goes through the other side of the fridge. This washer goes through it, makes a perfect flange. And then this just, once that's in there, this just sits right in on it, holds it straight up and down. It's perfect. I'll just silicone the other side, and that will be the smokestack. So this is the inside of the fridge. It's all gutted out. I got the freezer out of the inside. I got all the screws cut off. Some of them wouldn't come out. There's some like this that I'll just push through, and then when I take this off to replace it, I'll just take them out that way. Some of them are like that. I cut a lot of them off. A lot of them are still in there. And this is what the inside is going to look like. I'm going to put a big hole in the bottom for my heating element, and I'll show you the heating element in just a minute. Alright, this is the heating element that's going to come from inside this. I'm going to cut out the bottom. I'm going to take that bottom, whatever that's called, I don't know, the bottom foam, whatever. I'm going to cut a hole to match that inside the fridge, in the bottom of the fridge, and then I'm going to attach the heating element to that, drop it inside the fridge, and that will be the heating element for when I want a hot smoke. I'll do some work and I'll fill you in after that. Okay, so what I did was I cut the heating element out of the bottom of the old vertical smoker that I had, and then I cut a matching hole in the bottom of the refrigerator. I lowered the bottom portion of the heat shield, I guess it is, into the hole, and then I'm just gonna I'm gonna attach this on there just like so. That will be my heating element when I want a hot smoke, and then I'm gonna get back to work. Okay, so I got all of the pieces of the plastic molding off the fridge, and I'm going to replace that with some aluminum flashing that I have in the house. I'll just trace out the shape of this right here, and then I will cut it out and bend it into shape, and that should take care of sealing the edges. I'll just pop it in with a couple stainless steel zip screws, and we should be good to go. Okay, so I cut a hole in the side of the fridge here for air intake, and I got one of these, I don't know, air conditioning vents from our restore, our Habitat for Humanity restore. Fits in perfect. It's just, I don't know, I think it's enough air intake for that to come through. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna screw this in, see how it looks, and get back to work. And that is what it looks like with the intake, I guess it's a dampener, installed. So it's me control the airflow. Just pull this down. I don't know if you can see in there, but you can have it full open, you can have it full closed. So yeah, I think that works pretty good for $1. And it's starting to get a little chilly outside. Looks like it's gonna rain, so I think I'm gonna call it a day, and I'm gonna hop back inside and get back to this tomorrow. Okay, so I got the shelves in, lined up all the shelves, got them in, cut down some oven racks to make my shelves. Got a little drip pan right there. I put a little bit of flashing around the hole there that I put in. Got some flashing up around the exhaust hole. I'm gonna put some flashing around the door, around the edges of the door. I don't know if I'm gonna zip screw those in or rivet them in. And then I gotta get some sheet metal for the door. All right, I'm gonna get back to work. Okay, so here we go. I always intended this to be a smoker build on a budget, on a very tight budget. So I had some aluminum flashing rolls. It was 6 inches by 50 feet. I had cut them, fit them in around the door frame to seal the spots behind, you know, where the old trim was, the plastic wooden trim. So that's that. It's got some spots where it does need some seal, but I'll be able to do that no problem. And the door skin, This is how it turned out. I cut a bunch of strips, 6-inch strips. You know, I think it was 22 inches wide. I riveted them together. It works. It's not $50 for a sheet of metal, but it'll do its job. It's sealed on the back side pretty good. Along every seam I sealed it. Now,